channel. Today I'm going to show you what happens when I have a failed painting or a failed Dutch pour in this case. Usually when we post, you see the beautiful paintings, the nice touches, the final product, and all is well. However, what you don't see is when things go wrong. And so today's video is going to have two different paintings when things went wrong in a sense of my composition. I did not like for either one. The first painting that I do, it starts off okay, but then it doesn't end well. And so I put that one off to the side. And then I grab a different canvas and I try a split base, which the concept for that one was okay, but again, the composition was just not what I wanted it to be. And so I ended up scraping both of these paintings. And so you'll see that today. I hope you enjoy it, though. I hope you learned something from it. I certainly did. But usually it's what happens when I experiment with different canvases, different color schemes, different compositions. I typically do several until I find one that I really, really like. And so in this case, you'll see two of them that I did not like at all. Now, you may like them, but I did not, and so I scraped both paintings. But I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you soon. Now, in this part, I'm using a 30 by 30 canvas, and there's three colors that I'm using total. So I'm using gold, and that's Decoart 24K gold. I use black from Amsterdam, and I'm going to use titanium white from Amsterdam. And so you'll see here that I'm going to put the white along the edges of the gold. But I think the problem here was that there was a little bit too much gold. Now, I've done other paintings before with the same color scheme, and they turned out wonderful. However, for this one, when I place the gold down, you see it's a big blob of gold compared to the thin white outline that's going around. And so what I was trying to do is say, hey, I have all this gold, let me put a little bit extra white to offset that. But when you see the blowout, you'll see that it did not turn out the way I wanted it to, because there was an excess of gold, which is okay in some cases, but not what I wanted. As you can see here, I started over on a different canvas. So now I'm using a 12 by 24 inch canvas, and I'm doing a black-white split base, and gold is still my color. Now in this case, the way I blew the color gold was not in my typical fashion, in the sense that I didn't fan it out more. And I also didn't blow over the colors to get more of that ethereal look. I figured I have enough paint on the canvas, maybe this will be okay. But in this case, the power went out several times because it was a storm outside, and it did not pan out the way I wanted to. The composition for this one was a little bit better than the one before that. However, still not something that I liked myself. And so I decided to scrape this painting as well. and let the base dry, or the color dry in general, and I'll reuse my leftover paint for the next painting. And so this is me adding the white to the other side, and then I'll just be using the gold only. The thing that I would do different if I did this one again would be on the white side, add a little strip of black and add some white on the black side and keep the gold in the middle. This way would help offset some of the colors, and I'll blow over them and see what happens. And so I'm actually planning to do a video of that and show you guys this next week, and you can let me know what you think. Now, some of you may like this, how it turned out, but I didn't, and so I did scrape it also. But there'll be plenty more. Now, when I do practice, I also practice on all sizes, small ones, the bigger ones, just to see what things will look like. Because, for example, if I'm working on an 8x8, but I want to do a similar painting on a 30-inch by 30-inch, when I get to the 30-inch, it might look very different compared to what I did on the 8x8. And so when I practice certain compositions or what I want things to look like, I'll go for the canvas size itself and go from there, because it's just paint. I can always scrape it off, start over, or leave it on, let it dry, and embellish, and it could come into something that I did not expect. And I've done that before. And I actually have one of those that I'll show you all this next week as well, in terms of, here was the failed pour that I scraped, but then kept some colors on there and added a little bit of my own twist to it, and here it goes. All right, so here's that strip of gold that I'm adding. But again, I did not add any extra colors on the white side or the black side. I just left them as is. And so next time I'm gonna add a little bit of black on the white side and a little bit of white on the black side. Because right now I'm just doing white on white, and then I think the black has enough paint already. All right, and so here you'll see me blowing over just a hair, but not to the point that it's actually literally going over it so that the gold is mixing either way. It's still in the middle. But because I blew on the white more to the black side, you'll see that it also offset the color. So it's not completely even, but you could tell there's a big discrepancy there. And I did not like that in my end. And so to me, it was a failed pour for me. But I'll bring you closer so you can see what it looks like. Now the cells are gorgeous. The mix is gorgeous. It just didn't tend to the side that I wanted to, and didn't expand as much as I would have liked it to. But again, we learn every time we paint. I learn something every day, and I hope you learn something also. And we don't always get it right the first time around. But I will see you next time.